It's not looking good for the boy Shay Shay.
Shannon Sharpe is facing a new lawsuit, accused of multiple instances of assault, and battery.
So now he's stepping away from his TV duties, but his case is what's trending in true crime.
The day will come when we will name names other than Sean Combs, and there's a lot of names.
Think you had Shannon Sharpe all figured out? The Hall of Famer, the TV superstar, the unapologetic king of sports talk? Think again, because after this, the image you had of him might be gone for good.
And it's not looking good for the boy Shay Shay.
Shannon, once the loudest voice in daytime sports with that unbeatable swagger, is now in the middle of pure chaos. A $50 million lawsuit slammed into his world like a wrecking ball.
Shannon Sharpe is facing a new lawsuit, accused of multiple instances of assault, and battery.
And no amount of charm could stop it, and the damage, it's brutal. So brutal that he's already stepped away from ESPN, leaving fans asking if this is the shocking collapse of one of sports media's biggest legends. Was this downfall destined from the start, or did it blindside him completely? Either way, the Shannon people thought they knew might be gone forever. It all looked normal at first, just another week of Shannon throwing sharp takes, laughing loud, and living his best life on ESPN. But behind that bright spotlight, something dark was brewing, ready to blow up at any second, and when it did, it sent shockwaves across the industry. A $50 million lawsuit got dropped right at Shannon's doorstep, with a woman coming forward with heavy accusations.
New legal war has begun, and this time it's between NFL Hall of Famer, podcaster, commentator Shannon Sharpe and the woman who's accusing him of sexually assaulting and raping her.
What started as whispers after a messy Instagram live has now spiraled into a major courtroom battle, serious civil claims, leaked clips, and a nonstop legal showdown filling the headlines. If you've been lost trying to figure out how it all connects, you're not the only one. Don't worry, we've got the details, and they're jaw-dropping. A woman, identified only as Jane Doe, dropped a bombshell lawsuit this past Sunday in Clark County, Nevada, accusing Shannon Sharpe of assaulting her not once, but twice. First in October 2024, then again in January 2025. She claims he caused deep emotional damage, secretly recorded their private encounters without her consent, and even threatened her life during one of their heated arguments.
The suit was filed in Las Vegas by an anonymous woman and her attorneys. In the suit, Jane Doe accuses the former Denver Bronco and podcast host of, quote, manipulating and controlling her.
According to the lawsuit, their relationship went from rocky to terrifying as Shannon's temper spiraled out of control. Whenever she questioned his loyalty or pressed him about who he was seeing, he allegedly exploded with rage. What began as manipulation and intimidation soon turned into something much darker. Doe even says Sharpe figured out how to sneak into her apartment complex without her permission, a violation that left her feeling unsafe and trapped. The lawsuit describes a chilling pattern. What started as control tactics eventually morphed into sinister behavior. And here's where it gets even wilder. Jane Doe's lawyer is none other than Tony Busby. Yes, the same Tony Busby who made headlines going toe-to-toe with Diddy, and even filed lawsuits dragging Jay-Z into legal firestorms.
The day will come when we will name names other than Sean Combs, and there's a lot of names.
If Busby is involved, you already know the case is about to explode with national attention. And while this storm brews, Shannon isn't staying silent. His legal team is pushing back hard, denying every accusation made by the ex-girlfriend who alleges he threatened to destroy her reputation if she ever spoke out. According to his lawyers, the claims are nothing but lies designed to smear him.
Civil. The idea is it is a civil, friendly sort of way of resolving our disputes. We don't show up at someone's house with a shotgun.
But Busby turned up the heat with a bold public statement on Friday morning. Late last night, the Busby law firm filed a civil lawsuit on behalf of a brave young woman who alleges she was brutally assaulted by former NFL player Shannon Sharpe on multiple occasions, he declared. The suit is seeking a staggering $50 million in damages. The filing details are disturbing. Jane Doe says Sharpe repeatedly threatened to choke and slap her, using his fame and influence to keep her quiet. Busby called the allegations egregious and deeply concerning, and confirmed the full case details are already available in public court records.
Have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke it out of you when I see you.
According to the lawsuit, Jane Doe first crossed paths with Shannon Sharpe back in 2023 at a Los Angeles gym. She was just 20 while he was in his mid-50s. The filings say their very first interaction took a disturbing turn. Sharpe allegedly told her he'd buy her fake private parts if she could beat him in a weight loss contest. Attorney Tony Busby called her actions brave, saying, "It takes a great deal of courage to stand up against those with power, fame, and money. I look forward to pressing this case in court." Things quickly got darker. Court documents say that at one point, Doe tried to share her location with friends from her iPhone, fearing for her safety. But when Sharpe caught her, he allegedly grabbed her by the neck and threatened her with chilling words, "If you ever do that again, I will FQ the two of you." Despite this, the relationship carried on, even after both moved to Nevada during the summer of 2024. According to Doe, she tried to end things following Sharpe's infamous Instagram Live mishap, which she says pushed her over the edge. But that's when the situation escalated further. Doe and her lawyer claim to have a videotape showing Shannon assaulting her, and now pieces of that alleged footage are surfacing. The lawsuit outlines a harrowing night in October 2024. It claims Sharpe forced her into a car, took her to her apartment, and subjected her to degrading acts against her will.
Oh, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
Doe says he obsessed over forcing her into physical activity, allegedly grabbing her by the head as she cried and saying, "Look at this, look at my arm, I've got chills. That's how good this is." The complaint goes on to allege another disturbing incident in January 2025. This time, Sharpe reportedly showed up with what he called a combined Christmas and birthday gift. Once inside her apartment, Doe says he assaulted her again, refusing to use any protection. Sharpe, on the other hand, is fighting back with his own evidence. He's released text messages between them, which he claims show Doe sending racially charged and graphic statements at his prompting. Sharpe insists this paints a completely different picture of their relationship, but the battle over the tapes is where things get explosive. Sources say Sharpe is demanding the full 10-minute video be made public, accusing Busby of preparing to leak only a short, edited clip designed to make him look guilty. "I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip that plays into every stereotype you could imagine," Sharpe said. "That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it or I would myself." And then came the twist no one expected. The woman dropped tapes of her own. The shocking release shook the media to its core and left Shannon's fans reeling, unsure of what to believe next. Then came the bombshell audio. Shannon Sharpe himself released a phone call between him and Jane Doe, and what's on it has people stunned. During the call, Doe can be heard saying, "Don't manipulate me." And Sharpe allegedly snaps back, "If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke the S out of you when I see you." When she tells him she doesn't want that, his response is chilling. "Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter."
I'm not going to hang up on you. It is what it is.
What does that even mean?
Nothing yet. You want to be to me now, so.
I don't want to be, don't manipulate me.
TMZ later confirmed they had obtained the same audio through attorney Tony Busby, proof of Sharpe threatening to choke his accuser. That's when his defense team went into full spin mode. His lawyer claimed the words were nothing more than role play, insisting Shannon wasn't serious. But many aren't buying that explanation. As one legal analyst put it, "I haven't gotten official confirmation from Sharpe's camp that the tape is real, but there's no reason to think it's fake. It sounds like it was recorded during a heated argument. He said it, whether he meant it or not." And then another twist. Sharpe's lawyer, the high-profile Lanny Davis, admitted that a settlement offer was made before the lawsuit ever went public. Reports say the number floated was close to $10 million, meant to make the case disappear quietly. But according to Davis, the woman turned it down because she was demanding even more money.
Shannon Sharpe, during efforts to settle the case before the lawsuit was filed, offered tens of millions of dollars to the plaintiff.
Of course, Davis was quick to add that settlement talks don't prove guilt. "We completely reject these false claims," he said, explaining that the only reason Sharpe considered a payout was to protect his family and his career from a drawn-out legal circus. But Tony Busby came swinging back harder than ever. He praised Jane Doe's courage and doubled down on the seriousness of her allegations, telling reporters this lawsuit is about holding people accountable for their actions, accountable no matter how famous they are. And now the case has turned into a media feeding frenzy. Social media is ablaze with fans and critics dissecting every single leaked detail, while legal experts are warning people to pump the brakes. They point out that settlement talks happen all the time in civil cases and don't automatically prove guilt or innocence. And just when you thought this couldn't get any messier, things exploded again. Tony Busby came forward with new text messages he claims were sent right after the alleged assault. According to Jane Doe, Shannon assaulted her without using protection. In the text, she confronted him about what happened. And Sharpe's response? Cold and distant. Can I call you later?
Response revealing the name of the accuser and some very X-rated text messages he says he received from her.
But that wasn't all. Busby also revealed graphic messages Sharpe allegedly exchanged with the woman, some of which were extremely explicit. As soon as those screenshots hit the internet, the news spread like wildfire, shocking fans, critics, and even some of Shannon's closest friends. Overnight, the man known as the funny, fiery, no-nonsense truth teller had become the headline for all the wrong reasons. And the fallout was immediate. ESPN suspended Shannon Sharpe. According to Media Takeout, executives quietly benched him from First Take while they tried to decide what to do next. Behind closed doors, insiders say the network wasn't so much focused on guilt or innocence. They were worried about the distraction and the PR disaster.
Shannon Sharpe has finally stepped away from ESPN.
To make it even crazier, this suspension came right as Shannon was reportedly about to lock in a massive expansion deal for his Club Shay Shay podcast empire. Now that deal is in limbo, maybe just delayed, maybe dead altogether. Shannon tried to strike a calm tone in his public statement, saying he would return to ESPN at the start of the NFL preseason. The first preseason game is set for July 31st. He wrote, "I will be devoting this time to my family and responding to these false and disruptive allegations. I truly appreciate the overwhelming support from my family, fans, friends, and colleagues." But fans were quick to wonder, was this suspension really about the lawsuit, or was it just the final nail in a coffin that had been building for years? Because let's be real, Shannon Sharpe has been playing with fire for a long time, and this time, it finally caught up with him. And here's a detail many forgot. This isn't the first time Shannon has faced allegations from women. Back in 2010, a woman accused him of assault and filed a defamation suit. And even before that, in 2003, Michelle Evans filed a separate complaint against him in New York. Nearly 2 decades later, history seems to be repeating itself. Michelle Evans had her own story to tell, and it was explosive. She claimed she was in a long-term relationship with Shannon Sharpe nearly a decade before things fell apart in 2010 over alleged infidelity. In her complaint, Evans painted a disturbing picture of what she says happened during one of their final arguments. She alleged that when she refused his advances, Sharpe forced her into non-consensual acts, overpowering her despite her protests. According to Evans, the encounter escalated further as he allegedly maneuvered her onto a bed, all while declaring he'd make sure no other man would ever want her. Now here's the twist. Evans wasn't suing Sharpe for assault. Instead, she claimed that after the incident, he threatened to destroy her reputation, and the backlash she faced online and in the media left her career in shambles. She accused him of defamation, saying commentary about her was laced with cruel attacks that stained her professional life. Shannon's camp came out swinging. A representative dismissed Evans's claims as ridiculous and completely without merit. Court records show that a judge denied Evans's request for an order of protection, and Sharpe's attorney Mitchell Schuster released a fiery statement. It should be of no surprise that when someone famous is in the news, all sorts of people crawl out of the woodwork to share their connection in an attempt to profit. These stories are often exaggerations or outright fabrications designed to build a false narrative. The statement doubled down, saying Evans only filed the case on her own after she failed to find a lawyer to back her. Her complaint is completely devoid of merit. Shannon has had no contact with this person for years. Bottom line, he has done nothing wrong and intends to fight these malicious lies with real proof, not imaginary stories. But here's the part that has everyone whispering: the timing. Why is Michelle Evans's case being dragged back into the spotlight now? A legal expert say it's a strategic move, resurfacing old accusations right when Sharpe's latest scandal is at its peak. And fans can't help but ask, is this just coincidence, or is the media piling on to bury him once and for all? One thing's clear, someone as established, wealthy, and iconic as Shannon Sharpe being tied up in multiple accusations at once is shaking the entire sports and media world. This isn't just about one lawsuit anymore. It's about his whole legacy hanging by a thread. And all of this chaos started over a relationship, and not just any relationship. The woman involved is reportedly super young, which sends the whole situation into a completely different level of, wait, what?
The woman says it began as a consensual relationship when she was 20 years old. Sharpe, through his attorneys, denied all those allegations.
The internet being the internet hasn't let up for a second. Social feeds are flooded with receipts, wild opinions, and nonstop debates about the woman at the center of it all. From comments about her looks to viral workout clips, it's been brutal. Classic internet behavior, zero chill. And it raises the bigger question, why would someone with Shannon's money, fame, and career security risk throwing it all away like this? It's the ultimate head scratcher. What was really going on behind the scenes? What was the dynamic between them? We'll probably never know the full truth, but the fallout is impossible to ignore. And now, the only question is, where does Shannon go from here? Can he bounce back both legally and in the eyes of the public? Or is this the scandal that permanently derails him? Because let's not forget, Shannon's not just a TV personality. His podcast, Club Shay Shay, has become one of the hottest shows out there, especially after that explosive Cat Williams interview. And that wasn't the only viral moment. He's had multiple interviews this year that set the industry on fire, spilling secrets about some of the biggest names in Hollywood. People like Diddy, Oprah, and even Tyler Perry. Shannon didn't hold back, and he claims those same industry giants tried to silence him. He says they pushed him to take down interviews, and when he refused, they came for his career. According to Shannon, he's still sitting on more dirt, and he's ready to leak it if they don't back off. In a recent sit-down, Shannon even spilled more tea, talking about how other celebrities have tried to sabotage him and shut down his show completely. He told Cam Newton why stars feel comfortable enough to unload all their secrets on his podcast because he gives them control. Shannon explained that before every taping, he tells his guests they don't have to touch any topic they don't want to, which makes them feel safe enough to tell their raw stories. And to his critics, Shannon clapped back, people keep saying he's not a real journalist, but he made it crystal clear. He's never claimed to be one. His background is football, plain and simple. A Hall of Fame NFL career, inducted in 2011, followed by years as a bold, unfiltered commentator. Journalism or not, his podcast has changed the game. And now that same game might be used to try to destroy him. Back in 2020, right in the middle of the pandemic, Shannon Sharpe launched his podcast, Club Shay Shay. At first, it pulled in steady numbers, but everything changed with that now infamous Cat Williams interview. That episode blew the internet wide open, racking up over 70 million views, making it the most watched in the show's history. But here's where things get even spicier. Some of the very celebrities who were embarrassed or exposed on his podcast may now be plotting their revenge. Could this new lawsuit be the perfect storm to finally bring Shannon down? A lot of people online think so, and suddenly the whole thing feels less like coincidence and more like a takedown attempt. And now with the lawsuit in play, the narrative is shifting fast and it's getting uglier by the day. Twitter, TikTok, and every corner of social media are still split, debating whether Shannon's downfall is karma, conspiracy, or something in between. One thing's crystal clear. When you live in the spotlight, even your personal relationships can turn into ticking time bombs. So what do you think? Are you shocked, surprised, or not at all? Drop your thoughts below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.